Hi there, it's Ron Gula from Gula Tech Adventures. Today we're going to talk about how to protect home users, or more accurately, how to protect corporations from home users. Now, you probably have an IT organization that buys hardware for new employees, and perhaps the hardware is, maybe you're an Apple shop, maybe you're a Windows shop, perhaps they even do mobile devices, Android, Apple, whatnot. But increasingly, more and more organizations out there are letting their employees choose their own hardware, or some sort of combination of that. I've seen a lot of organizations try to control the laptop, but let the users choose their own personal devices. In either case, corporations need to make a lot of decisions about how much monitoring and prevention they want to do on each of those devices. If you think about a modern corporate enterprise computer, we typically load lots and lots of software to monitor it. We only let it talk to things it's supposed to, and we might even break and inspect, look at the net flow, look at the packets going through those devices to find anomalies and perhaps malware and even data leakage. But when it comes to personal traffic, personal data, it's really difficult for some organizations to let this. So a lot of them say no, or which can cause a lot of issues at work from an HR place. But they may also say, look, we'll let you go to Facebook, we'll let you go to social media and TikTok, but you have to let us monitor what you're doing. And just as I meet with CISOs, when I meet with various different cybersecurity organizations out there, the level of monitoring for an enterprise employee, it really varies. It really varies. And not only is it really vary, but just even trying to deploy this basic list of technology on both a corporate device and also personal devices can get really, really tricky to try to have uniform coverage. What I'm talking about is this. If in the large enterprise, if you have interest in deploying security technology to a modern, Apple laptop or Windows computer, you're going to be able to deploy anything you want. It's a first-class citizen when it comes to cybersecurity monitoring and prevention. But as soon as you go over to a mobile device, because mobile devices are somewhat of a walled garden and somewhat designed with a lot more security and from the ground up, it's actually harder to deploy certain types of monitoring. And a lot of times corporations really just kind of fall back to running an MDM with some basic, app usage detection, maybe some DNS and the network activity traffic that you can see from the network. But for the most part, the mobile devices in the enterprise aren't really monitored and hardened as much as those endpoints. But when you get to a private user's Windows laptop or Apple laptop or personal devices, deploying this technology to them is really, really difficult. Since it wasn't provisioned, it wasn't procured, you might want to put an endpoint on it. You might run into hardware compatibility issues. You might run into performance issues. If your IT team is set up to diagnose these things, you're going to create a huge burden in many cases for loading up, hardware and softwares that you really don't know what's going on out there. So a lot of times I've seen organizations with home users really default to basically running authentication and trying to secure the browser in some cases. It's really difficult to monitor like personal email, for example, on a home computer. It's just hard to do. And then when we get to the mobile side, the easiest thing for a home user to do to secure things getting into the enterprise is to use an authentication app. Almost everybody out there has some sort of authentication app, and they understand that. It's not nearly as intrusive as putting some sort of container system on their mobile phone that encapsulates things into different applications inside an MDM. So this sounds kind of like counterintuitive, but I tell people, look, if you're worried about security, you should be spending money on devices that your employees can use so you can secure them. If you try to kind of add security to somebody else's device that you're not managing it, you're going to have a hard time. So if you are in a BYOD environment, if you are letting your employees use their own devices to do work, you should really focus on two things: strong authentication and some sort of secure browser. I've been very pleasantly pleased with all the new activity we've had in our industry, investing in modern secure browsers and even browser plugins that allows employees to surf the internet securely, but also let corporate people either monitor them or know that they are secure and at least not going to different types of threat sites. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I'm Ron Gula from Gula Tech Adventures. If you want more videos like this, please visit our YouTube channel or visit us at gula.tech. Thanks again for watching.